What is going on, you guys? Josh here, also known as Harry Tornado, and I have with me tonight my guests known as RNZY, Ryan and Lindsay. I am super excited for this show. I've wanted to get Ryan and Lindsay on the show for a while now. We were supposed to do it a couple months ago, and then I had to reschedule. But super excited to get them on and learn more about them and their business. So, if you guys don't know, Ryan and Lindsay are both full-time resellers. They, as far as I know, you guys only resell shoes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Nailed it.
Awesome. So if you guys, like viewers of my channel, know that I source a lot of shoes as well, and I was kind of inspired by you guys because I really like cleaning shoes. I don't know. It's just a weird. I don't like. I was cleaning a pair of rainbow flip flops today that had that like nasty footprint in it, and just like the satisfaction you get when you actually get it out, you know. But anyway, I digress. So Ryan and Lindsay, take it away. Just tell the viewers a little bit about yourself. Assuming they have never met you guys before.
Yeah, we're Ryan and Lindsay. We're a married couple out of the Portland, Maine area. We've been reselling it'll be 3 years this June. We started in June 2017. And yeah, as you said, only shoes.
Yeah, we appreciate you having us on, Josh. It's we've obviously been following along with your stuff in the reseller world. You get connected with a lot of different people from all different walks. And of course, we only resell shoes full time, but it's really cool to learn from other people, whether they're in your category or not. And we, like Lindsay said, we're coming up on almost 3 years doing this full time, paying all of our bills, reselling both used and new shoes. And so we're excited to be on here, answer any questions, share more of our story in hopes that more people might get involved, whether they have the passion like you do and we do to clean the profit into shoes, or whether it's brand new shoes that you don't have to clean. You can make a lot of money doing that as well.
Awesome. So give me a little bit about your backstory. You've been reselling for 3 years. Like, I'm not sure how old you guys are, but what did you do before that? Did you ever have corporate jobs, or did you go to college or anything like that?
Yeah, we both have bachelor's degrees. Mine is in art therapy. Ryan's is in what, international business or something. We're in our 30s, and I just entered my 30s.
She's like 15 minutes into being 30, and I'm 36. So
I love being 30. It's been my favorite age so far. It feels so right. But anyway, so
she's only 15 minutes in.
But yeah, so I graduated with a degree in art therapy and was using that for a little bit, working at a residential school for kids with behavioral issues. And I was their art teacher and thought it was like my dream job, and really didn't fit with me. It was a little too much for me to handle. So then I just really, for the next 4 or 5 years, was just kind of working some odd jobs, like managing retail stores and things like that. And then I was running a handbag company with my uncle for 2 years, and then walked in one day in June of 2017, and all of my, can I swear on this?
Bleep it out.
Level 1 curse words only.
All of my stuff was packed up in a box waiting for me, and my uncle just fired me on the spot, like for no reason. And
wow.
Really, when we went all in with reselling,
it's such a blessing in disguise. It pushed us into a place where we had to make a decision. And I think a lot of people come across this decision or are either contemplating it, where we both were dabbling. You know, we'd go every couple months, we'd go to like the thrift and kind of scoot around and find a coffee maker, you know, and flip it on the local marketplace. And we said, hey, we see people doing this reselling thing. We can either go get another job that we don't necessarily like as much, or maybe we should try to do this full-time reselling thing. So from day one, June of 2017, we sat down, we said, these are our bills for the month of June. Let's try to flip stuff to pay all of our bills. And to shorten the story, we paid all our bills that month. We realized we tried a bunch of different things, coffee makers, wooden bowls, clothes, shoes, you know, in the first couple of weeks. And we really honed in on the shoes, and we loved the shoes, and we loved engaging and interacting. And like you said earlier, cleaning the shoes, which is, we obviously didn't realize we'd enjoy cleaning the shoes.
Yeah.
And that really, it snowballed from month 1 into month 2, where we said, hey, we did this much in month 1, let's try to beat this in month 2. And then we tried to beat that in month 3, and we just kept going and going. Yeah. Started connecting with resellers through Instagram and Facebook. And we learned through YouTube videos. We learned through trial and error. We're the broad stroke of our story is we pour gas on what's working, and we're not romantic to what's not working for us. And we have these talks on a daily basis. We set, monthly, quarterly, yearly goals, and we get after it.
For sure. So want to shout out my friend John in the chat. More Income gave a $2 super chat. Said thanks for the interview, John. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. To the viewers watching, if you guys have any questions you'd like us to tackle, feel free to drop those in the chat. We'll try to incorporate those into the show best we can. Otsnip Draw Flips says, as a new seller, what would you suggest shoes to look for a quick flip? Now, for me personally, I guess I'll start this. Like, a lot of people look for those like great brands of shoes, like only the Jordans and the Mephistos and stuff they could sell for $100, $150, $200, like the sneakerheads that, get the retail Nike drops and sell them for $600 or $700. But from what I see on Instagram, you guys are flipping like, $20, $30, $40 shoes, but you're doing it 30 to 50 times a day. So just talk about that a little bit.
Well, so if you're just starting off, the easiest thing that we can do is tell you how we started off and how we built momentum really quickly. And it's exactly what you just described. We were not looking for the grail, $100+ profit shoes, because the reality is those are a lot harder to find consistently. They are out there. You named 2 very good brands that will sell for more. But what we wanted to do was build some momentum in being able to sell pairs every single day and make profit every day. And then what we realized when we first started, we sold everything from our closet, and then we graduated into thrifts, and we sold it on Facebook Marketplace locally. In that small little ecosystem of Portland, Maine, we realized that we could buy shoes at the thrifts for name brand shoes for under $10 and sell them for $25. So we were more than doubling our money. Now, of course, there's going to be people watching this now or later that you got to think about gas, you got to think about taxes, you got to think about that. But the general business model, if you're first starting off, which actually we continue to use, is if you can buy a name brand, all the name brands that we all know, Nike, Adidas, New Balance, Puma, literally we could list over 80 brands that we sell every single month that have no rips or tears, that have no funky smell, that are in a decent condition. You put a little sweat equity and clean the soles up a little bit, buy them under $10 and sell them for $25 on the local marketplace. You're going to find yourself interacting with people who are not going to argue against the $25 price point, and you're going to be more than doubling your money. Now, of course, there's lots of intricacies involved in that, but our experience is that first month we were able to do that and profit thousands of dollars to pay our bills. We then compounded that and obviously set our goals a little bit higher to where we, instead of selling, 1 pair every day, we were selling 2 pairs every day, 5 pairs every day, 10 pairs every day, doing deliveries all day long. We've got several videos describing that. And then we used that same business model and scaled it into in the beginning, we used eBay. We don't use eBay anymore, but into a Poshmark and Mercari environment, where we could find shoes that were consistently selling high enough on these marketplaces that we could turn them over really quickly.
For sure. So, and I think that's, I guess there's 2 schools of thought when it comes to shoe flipping. Like, you can do the sneakerhead stuff, like going for those grails, instead of spending your time going to 15 thrift stores a day, you can just get 7 computers and go online and try to, get the drops when they come out. But it's just easier, like than taking the chance with the retail finds and stuff like that, just putting in the time and effort, like I've seen you guys, go to multiple states, cross state lines. I don't know how many thrift stores you go to. I don't know if it's like a weekend long trip or whatever, but I'm seeing the hauls you guys bring in, like 10, 12, 15 IKEA bags filled with shoes. And again, it's a numbers game. You just put in the work and stuff sells. Nike may be saturated, but everybody knows Nike. Everybody knows that brand. They're willing to wear that on their foot. And something else I like about shoes is I think Chris from Daily Refinement said that everybody needs shoes. Like everything else on eBay is just a limited market, even with clothing, like sizes and stuff. And shoes have sizes as well. But generally, shoes is they're going to have the widest available market of buyers out there. So I think you guys are in a good rut. I don't want to say rut has a negative connotation, but you guys know what you're doing and you're definitely good at it. I haven't seen anybody else on social media pulling in the types of numbers you guys are doing with used shoes. So congratulations. And thank you for inspiring others.
We appreciate kind words, man. I do appreciate that. One thing of value that we want to say to people is reiterating what you said. Try to name one person you know that doesn't wear shoes, including, even the guy that's homeless on the street. He's got a pair of shoes on.
Yeah.
And he got it somewhere. There has been times where people have purchased from us and donated to the homeless because our price points are so good. Even in almost 3 years of us to exhaustion, sharing exactly how we're doing what we're doing. There's no secret behind our business model. There is no secret behind the brands we use, the marketplaces we use. There is still enough room, even in our state of Maine, for hundreds of other resellers to go to the same thrifts that we do and make as much money as they want to do. It's such, when people say saturated, and believe me, we do get the others, very few, but the trolls that say, stop telling people how to do this. It's ruining the reselling business. And we're flattered because if you think that a little old couple from Maine are going to ruin the sneaker business, we're flattered, but it's just flat out not true. There's so much opportunity. We love, and we've built so many relationships with people that have watched our content and met us in the thrift, and they feel comfortable to come up and say hi and shake hands and throw high fives. And then what we do is we split up the inventory that's in that thrift or in that outlet, or we do what's called an outlet to StockX flip, where we're actually selling pairs in the outlet, and we'll sit next to someone else that just met us and flip with them and share the inventory, because there's literally so much inventory in so many marketplaces. There's enough for everybody.
Absolutely. Want to give a couple shout outs. The Nurse Flipper gave a $5 super chat, says, thanks RNZY and Josh for great information. Thank you, Nurse Flipper. We appreciate that. My man SC Thrifted Treasures gave a $4.99 super chat. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate that. I think that's everybody so far. So one question I'm sure a lot of people wonder is, why only shoes? Like, if you guys are spending so much time going to all these thrift stores, like, how come we never see you pick up any, electronics, or like, how much stuff do you guys think you're leaving behind when you only look at the shoes?
Yeah, I think we have learned to not look at it that way. Like, think about what we're leaving behind. We more think about what that time away from the shoes would cost us in the long run. Like, we did go for about 2 months where, we had gotten our shoes to a comfortable place where we were comfortable with the profit it was making per day. We're like, ooh, let's add another item in another niche in order to try to get, double the profit or whatever. We thought, if we get $100 per profit for shoes, then let's add another maybe clothing and get $100 per profit, $100 per day in profit. And that, now we're at $200 profit, right? And that's really great. So we're in thrift stores all the time. We're like, let's do clothing. Like, that's perfect. We'll source clothes on Dollar Day for $1, and we'll sell them for $19 or $15 on Poshmark. And we did it for 2 months, and the profit margins were crazy because we were getting everything for $1 and selling it for, after fees, usually we'd get back like $15. And
we didn't like it.
We hated it.
Yeah.
And like what you're saying is true. You could walk into a thrift and absolutely come home with a U-Haul full of profitable items. So now you have this opportunity where you got to weigh out what you enjoy doing versus how much money you're making. So like Lindsay said, we were looking up to people, resellers much bigger than us, and their advice to us was find 3 different categories and profit $100 per day in each category. So as Lindsay said, we started doing that. And then we realized we're not enjoying this. We don't enjoy taking photos. We don't enjoy measuring clothes. We didn't even enjoy sourcing, going through the racks. And we're just being honest with ourselves. The money was great.
Yeah.
Like like Lindsay said, the profit margins were great, the money was great, the business model made sense, but the mental real estate was driving us insane. So we backed up and we said, all right, how about we take shoes to $200
Yeah.
per day, and then we'll add electronics, and $100. And then we didn't enjoy testing electronics. We didn't enjoy learning about it. And we're just being honest with ourselves. Again, other people may love electronics and hate shoes. So this is where this opportunity, no excuses mentality comes in. And we just kept saying, let's just keep seeing how big we can build shoes. And now we've scaled shoes to almost over $500 profit per day. So now we're doing what we love. We've scaled it bigger than we thought, and we're still growing.
And we've been able to streamline the shoe process start to finish in such a radical way that even that 5 minutes to go look at something else is affecting our shoes, which is our bread and butter, like Ryan said, is making us more successful than we ever could have dreamed of at this point, and we'll go further. So yes, we definitely leave lots of money in the thrift, but
we're enjoying what we're doing. Like you said, we have a dozen IKEA bags full of shoes, and that's only possible because we're very efficient with our shoe sourcing, and we got our blinders on. I'll see a jacket or a coat, and I'm like, yo, Liz, look at this, like we should get this, and she's like, let's stay focused. And because of that, we come home, our day, even on our big sourcing trips, we'll end our day at like 3 or 4, at either at the hotel we're at or wherever we're staying, and just enjoy the rest of the evening.
That's awesome. A couple more super chats. Got Real Talk Mentor, my man Leroy, says that's awesome. What is the temperature in Maine right now? LOL burr.
It was actually pretty warm today, but I think the temperature
today was like tanning weather. It was like 30 and
34 degrees.
It's
that's not that bad.
Super warm 34. We woke up the other day. We took a trip to Florida to visit family, and we came back and it was like 9.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
let's see. We got another super chat from Becky Park on Poshmark, $4.99. Thanks for all the constant fun and great content, Josh. Becky Park is doing a live kind of like a charity auction tonight on her channel. I'll link it in the chat before we end tonight, but it starts at, I think she said 7 Central, so 8 Eastern our time. But they're raising money for, she's a high school choir teacher, and they're raising money to go to nationals or something like that. So again, I'll put that link in the chat. But Becky, thank you so much for super chat. I appreciate it. And then we got one from No Limit Reselling, $4.99. Thanks, Harry Tornado, for giving me a new channel to binge. Seems like good content and good info on RNZY channel. That you guys really do have really good content. Like I know you post a lot more on Instagram than you do YouTube. I'm hoping you guys get more on YouTube because I see a lot of growth potential there. You guys are, there's a lot of resellers on YouTube, but very few that are pulling in $500 a day in profit, including myself. Like if I make $100 a day in profit, even through all of the niches, I'm blessed, So, but again, do you guys have any employees at all?
Yeah, we've just started building our team. Technically, we have 1 employee, and we're in the gray area of bringing on a couple more. Our big thing is whenever we're going to grow, we always set up a strategy that when we attempt it, if it absolutely flops, we can back up to our base. And so we have 1 amazing employee that's been working with us for
probably almost 6 months.
About 6 months, and she's absolutely phenomenal. She does almost everything in the business. She helps with cleaning. She helps with listing. She helps with photographing, shipping. She's a mother of 2. She is super motivated. She's been learning all the intricacies. She's done some sourcing for us. So
she sounds like the perfect employee.
Yeah, she's been absolutely amazing. We got really, really lucky with her. We're bringing on some other people in the next month or so. Again, just kind of figuring out, learning from other teams that have been working together, because we don't necessarily want to scale this thing to $1 bajillion a month. We want to grow it to a point that we're comfortable with, that we're that's very healthy. We're going to be purchasing a house this year with shoe money. So that's, a very important thing in our world, but we want to build a consistent business. And then the next stepping stone is we're going to continue to resell shoes, But we're going to get into purchasing real estate, and we're going to use our shoe money to be purchasing properties all around the country.
Awesome. I like that idea. That's what I want to kind of get into in the next couple of years.
Cool.
A couple people in the chat have asked why you don't sell on eBay. I know I've asked you guys personally on Instagram, but if you guys want to tackle that one.
Yeah, our disclaimer is, first of all, you can build an absolutely monstrous shoe reselling business on eBay. Then the next part of this conversation is, because you can build a monster business on every single marketplace. And I like what you said earlier about there's lots of resellers out there, but there's not as much that are either as open about everything, that are making a significant amount of money. And for us, this is a significant amount of money. There's lots of resellers making way more than us, but there's not as many that are very transparent that will show you how to get there, because they think that if you tell people how to do it, that for some reason your business will get affected. And that's just not our mentality. So again, back to the root question of eBay, we have found that we can sell shoes on every marketplace. We've sold over $50,000 on Facebook Marketplace. We're approaching $250,000 on Poshmark. We've done over 60 grand on Mercari. We used to sell on eBay and do about $5,000 or $6,000 a month on eBay. Then what you back up and say, just like the clothes scenario, am I enjoying clothes? No, the money made sense, but we're not enjoying it. So then we talked about eBay, and we were just running into so much frustration. The cons started outweighing the pros for us and the way that we function. And so we had long conversations about it, and we decided, you know what? It's not enjoyable for us to sell shoes on eBay for a number of reasons. No excuses, you still can. So we decided to pour gas on other marketplaces, and we stopped using eBay.
Yeah, we started this whole thing, as opposed to me going and clocking in somewhere else when I got fired. We started this whole thing so that every single day we could wake up and just do whatever we wanted and have the freedom to spend our days exactly how we wanted to. And as we were talking about the clothes, we don't, and it's going to be a constant theme throughout anything RNZY that you ever encounter.
Yeah.
We don't spend time on things that we don't want to. I mean, there are definitely like small, like I don't want to do laundry, but I'm gonna do laundry, or like there, but we're living this lifestyle very intentionally to be able to live it the most positive way we can, do exactly what we want to do. And eBay just wasn't in the cards in that lifestyle. So
it was more frustration, period. And I think the same thing might be true for someone who uses Poshmark. They might be like, I don't get it, I don't understand, eBay's way easier, so you should stick to eBay, or you should try Poshmark, see it work, or try Mercari. See, that's the point, is it's proven every day that there's people building monstrous businesses on eBay, on Amazon, on Poshmark, on Mercari, on Facebook. So use the ones that you enjoy, and just don't make any excuses.
For sure. I love the fact that, like, talking about the competition, like telling people how you run your business, that doesn't mean that they're going to start doing it, because very few people have the patience that it takes to take a weekend trip, wherever you guys go, and have the knowledge to source 15 IKEA bags full of shoes and then get them home and then clean them. That's my, like, I like cleaning shoes, but other things that, like, I have some clothes and stuff like that. I just, like you said, whatever you don't enjoy, you need to cut it out and focus on what you do enjoy, and focus on what is profitable for you. But it's like Gary Vee, he tells all of his secrets about how he runs his marketing business, but he's like, it's like working out, losing weight. Like, it's not a secret, but everybody knows how to lose weight, but so many people struggle with it because it's not, all the information is already out there, whether you make a video or whether I make a video or whatever. Nobody's ruining the market. All the information is out there, but there's so few people that are actually willing to do what it takes to make the kind of money that you guys are making. So that's why I don't think anybody is going to be your competition. Very, very few people would be willing to do the kind of work you guys are doing, myself included. I think I got another super chat here. Donatella Botolino, please forgive me if I'm pronouncing that name incorrectly. Great guest. Thanks for opening my eyes to the shoe business. We created some competition. Donatella's gonna. I'm just kidding.
Hey, Donatella, go to our Instagram and we list all 80 plus brands that we sell every single month. We tell you where to get them, when to go get them, how much to buy them for, how much to sell them for. And here's what's going to happen. You're probably going to undercut us on certain marketplaces to increase competition. That's okay. Every day, people, like, for example, on Poshmark, the majority of our inventory sells for like 39 or 49. And the people that follow us, they'll say, can you look at my closet to see how I'm doing? And we'll go look, and all of their shoes are listed at $35.
Mm-hmm.
And we throw them a high five. We're like, that's great. You're missing a point of negotiation. We start at 39, you start at 35. Now we get to go to 35 when we're negotiating, and people still buy. The point of what I'm trying to say is, do what works best for you. Don't worry about anyone else. Learn from people around you. We're happy to share. We want you to sell a ton on Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook. We're going to show you exactly how we do it, because we are strong believers that there's enough freaking shoes in the United States for us all to win.
And everyone is gonna have their own like struggles and their own problems that they run into along the way. But why not, if we can try to help people leapfrog some of the issues that we've come across, and not have you have to deal with those particular ones, have at it. So
yeah, for example, watch our videos on how to sell on Facebook Marketplace so that you do not run into situations where like fathers of children are stealing shoes out of my hands on their porch.
Wow.
Like, there's little things that we teach that so you don't run into the same problems we did.
Let's see. I got another super chat from Dapper Tiger, $5. Thanks for the info. I'm shoe cleaning at the moment. This is a great thing to watch while you're cleaning shoes.
Yes.
Somebody, I saw a question earlier. They asked, I don't remember who it was. Beth Dorr says, how many shoes do you currently have listed?
Between 2,000, well, we can give you an exact number. So we're in our living room right now. We have a loft in our apartment, and we're just looking up. It's between 2,000 and 2,100 pairs active listings.
2,058.
Wow. And you guys do you keep all of them in your apartment, or do you have a storage unit?
We work, it's all in our apartment.
It's crazy. I've got 200 pairs, and they're taking over my entire garage.
Yeah. So here's the point of value. Usually when people ask that question, they have either heard us say how many pairs we sell a month. We average about 700 pairs sold every month. And then they say in their head, okay, if I can get 2,000 active listings, I'm going to sell 700 pairs a month. And that's just not true, because, and as you know, Josh, like when it comes to used shoes, even the same exact style and brand, there's different wear, there's different condition when it comes to the same exact pair. So, and then there's a bunch of different intricacies. So what we say is, think about quality rather than quantity, because we're not in the business of storing shoes. We're in the business of selling shoes. We are fortunate enough to find an apartment where there's a loft, which is supposed to be another bedroom, where we have set it up where we can fit roughly 3,500 to 4,000 pairs. So we could double our business in terms of storing shoes and still be good working out of our apartment. But we're very conscious about our sell-through rate, and we don't want to just necessarily fill our entire apartment with shoes. We want to bring shoes in that are sold really quickly. So you may have 200 pairs of shoes, but selling 180 of them every month, and that's really good. High sell-through, all these things.
I'm not.
I'm just saying, like, if you focus on the important things, which are looking at the comps, understanding the marketplace, and all those things, you do not need 2,000.
Yeah.
Like, there's certainly room to sell more than us with less pairs in stock. And there's also people that have 10,000 pairs in their inventory and don't sell, as much as us, and vice versa. So understanding how much we have can give you a base point, but really focusing on, okay, if I have 10 pairs right now, how do I sell them? And then go get 10 more. How do I sell them really quickly?
For sure. My friend Steve over at Pick and Roll made a comment that said the lower ship cost on Poshmark versus eBay for shoes is definitely attractive for buyers. And looking at it from the outside, I've never sold anything on Posh, but I believe there's like a flat shipping fee of like $6 or something. Is that right?
Just went up to $7.
They just upped it to anything under 5 pounds ships for $7.11. Now the average shoe or a pair of shoes weighs just under 2 pounds. So on Poshmark, we've sold 2 and 3 pair bundles, and the buyer only has to pay $7.11.
Oh, wow. So they do it with a bundle as well.
So yeah, and then
As
if
long
it's
as the
over
bundle
5
is total weighs less than 5 pounds.
correct.
Wow. That's awesome.
Now, you're going to have people that watch this and say, well, what about a heavy pair of boots? What about, all that? So, of course, if the pair, it weighs more than 5 pounds, which is very rare, even with boots,
Yeah.
It's easy to get a heavier label. It's just an extra couple bucks in shipping, which is still very competitive compared to other marketplaces.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I saw on you guys' Instagram post, you posted like a picture of just like your cleaning area with nothing in it. And you made the comment about not having a death pile. Everything you source, you pretty much get it cleaned and listed right away, and then you go source some more. How do you do that? I feel like there's a lot of resellers, myself included, that struggle with that death pile. We get motivated and try to work our way through it, and 10 items in and I'm done. So what are some tips on how to stay motivated and get through those death piles, especially when you guys are listing, I don't know, 100 pairs a day or whatever you guys are doing?
It's not 100 day.
It's the systems that we talked about. We create really strict, efficient systems. So we usually source throughout the week, and then Monday is a cleaning day. And usually Lee, who works with us, will come in, and she usually, either her and I, or just her, depending on if I'm doing other stuff or if Ryan's photographing or whatever. And we just get those. Usually it's right around 100, 150 pairs cleaned that one day. We just bang it out, 6 hours, clean 150 pairs. And that's the cleaning for the week. And
Wow.
then usually
And then what we do is we get everything photographed as quickly as possible. And everyone knows what we're about to say. Like, it cannot sell unless it's listed. And believe me, the systems that we are created are compounded when we see the results. It's clear that if you have a giant death pile, that if you listed all that stuff, you're going to make more money. I think one video that you put out about a VCR recently, that you had for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had those situations too. Don't get us wrong. Like, in the beginning, we had death piles, and we realized, like, there's money sitting here. There's 0% chance that we're going to make money on it. I mean, again, this is all obvious. We're not saying anything that people don't know, but what it distills down to is self-discipline, which is celebrated when you see the results. So because we're making sure every single pair is listed every single week, we're constantly month after month growing and growing and growing. And today's a perfect example. We had a few pairs that we know are going to sell. They listed and they sold within the hour. It's like, you see the results. If you are someone that has a big death pile or is finding that you're struggling with getting everything listed, you have to look yourself in the mirror and make one of two choices, and either create a system where you're getting everything listed, or hire out and say, listen, I'm struggling with something that is absolutely crucial in my business, getting it listed so other people can buy it. I'm going to hire someone else. Yes, you're going to make less profit, but you're going to make more profit because you're going to have no death pile.
We had death piles. We probably still have a death pile of random crap that we bought.
Not
like
shoes.
When we weren't doing, or when we were doing other things as well as shoes. It was really hard to work through the death piles of the stuff that we really didn't enjoy.
I just thought of it. There's a VCR in our spare bathroom. That's like,
bathroom.
Just remembered, it's like next to the toilet. I swear. So there's a perfect example. We weren't into it. I guess that's the next part of the conversation is we're into shoes and we enjoy it. So it's easier, to fulfill the whole part of the reselling process.
That's awesome. Quick little self promo here. There are 316 people watching right now and only 63 thumbs up. So if you guys are enjoying this video at all, if you learned anything, if you enjoy RNZY as a guest, be sure to smash that thumbs up button for me and RNZY. Also, I linked RNZY's Instagram and YouTube channel in the description of this video. So if you guys wouldn't mind going over there, and be sure to follow them on Instagram and subscribe to their YouTube channel. Putting out great content. They're super helpful. And they're also very, very nice people, as you can see from this video. So let's throw in a fun question. If you guys could have dinner with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Oh my God. I would invite.
I've got a couple names.
My father-in-law. I would invite your dad.
My dad? Oh yeah. I was like, oh, that's my dad.
Yeah. he is one of the most, like, I'm gonna start crying. Oh my God. The most, like, genuinely positive, like, great people to be around. Just, like, brings out the best in everyone around him because he's so, like, beaming from within and comfortable with himself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he has a great base. He's had some really tough challenges in his life. Obviously, he's my father, so I'm going to talk highly of him. He taught me everything that I know. The reason I'm the man I am today and have a beautiful wife and have a great relationship is because of the stuff that he's taught me. But Lindsay brings up a good point. The things that he taught, I guess, both of us is act in a way that attracts other good people without saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. And my father was in the radio business, my entire life. I'm 36 years old. He retired from radio to be a postman down in Florida. The grueling sun. He just loves talking to people, and he's got old people throwing mail at him, and he's high-fiving people on the street. So yeah, that's a good person. Now I feel bad for who I'm gonna say.
No, I just can't.
I was gonna say someone to the effect of whenever someone asks me this question, I always think of someone who has achieved a lot in this life. And of course, my father has achieved more than I've achieved. Building a family, very successful, all that. So where I go is someone. It might sound corny, is someone like LeBron James or Jeff Bezos, where it's such this monumental form of success. I mean, LeBron James obviously. With the basketball, but also in his business sense, he's invested in pizza company. He's invested in, English football, soccer teams, and then of course Jeff Bezos, with Amazon. And when you see the interviews of these people and how they've been able to attract other people around them to do these insane things, just to be able to sit down with them and say, mentally, what are you going through, and what do you look for in these types of business models and people around you? Because I think obviously I can't dunk a basketball, and I'm not going to build a business as big as Amazon, but if you can get in the mind of these type of people, you can attract. I mean, I'm going to be very honest, even watching your YouTube videos, you see the mentality, you see the honesty, you see the type of person that you are, and that's very attractive to both of us as a reseller, but also as a human being, because even the way you interact with your dog, like we love stuff like that because we have a dog and we interact. And again, if you're watching this, it might sound corny, but it builds a sense of trust. Mm-hmm. Then you look at your business, you're very honest. You're like, hey, this worked, this didn't. That's how we work. We're like, hey guys, this works, this doesn't. And it's very honest, and you can learn small intricacies. We're learning a lot from how you're growing your YouTube channel. You're doing it in a very genuine, honest way, and that's how we are. And we're like, oh, finally, there's someone who's building their channel, your YouTube channel is much bigger than ours in terms of everything, but we feel good following your footsteps because you are who you are. There's other people that have millions of followers, but we're like, oh God, we don't want to be like that human. And I guess that's why, Lindsay brought up my father. That's why I bring up LeBron James, Jeff Bezos, and Mr. Harry Tornado. Like that's how we try to attract that. We try to, at first we try to mimic that. And then we try to say, okay, how do we pull good parts from this and put ourselves into it? And I think that's important, whether you're reselling shoes, whether you're, trying to go for an NBA championship, or whether you're delivering mail like my father is in the heat in Florida.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. It was funny. Right before the show, I was talking to my dog. I was like, listen here, you are not going to mess up this episode of Reseller Review for me. So I have the back door open. I was like, you can go and come as you please. You do whatever you want. Yep. Just don't bother me for the next hour.
Just talking it out. Yeah, we do that too.
But yeah, I feel, Gary Vee, however you guys feel about it, like he's a Jersey guy. He cusses and has a mouth on him, but like as far as his business tactics, like he's doing stuff that nobody else is willing to do. I know, he's a millionaire, whatever, but when he does his garage or trash talk episodes, when go in the garage sales, buying stuff for $1 and selling it for $12, like some resellers, like full-time resellers would, diss on that, but he's got his multi-million-dollar friends that are saying like, hey, what are you doing? Like why are this is like chump change. You're making yourself look like an idiot. He's like, no, I'm not. You're an idiot. because he knows he's reaching out to those people that are in a situation in their life when turning $1 into 12 can be huge.
Was for us was fire.
Game changer, absolute mind blowing game changer. Taking $1 and turning it into 12.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, like I made my retail arbitrage video the other day and yesterday actually, and I had one product that I was gonna make like $3 on and profit after fees and everything. And I had a couple people in the comments section say, "Oh, that's nothing, man. You're full time. You got to step it up." I'm like, first of all, it's retail arbitrage. I admitted in the video, I don't know what I'm doing. Retail arbitrage is tough, and we can talk about that with you guys doing your in-store flips to StockX. But you got to think that just because you got or whoever we're talking about is in a certain situation where that amount of profit per item may not be worth it for them, there are still people in life where, again, taking that $1 turn into $12 or so is huge for them. I've been in a situation in my life where I hated my current job. I was working at a deli and it was just the worst thing ever in the world. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to quit. I don't have another job lined up. I don't know what I'm going to do. I get my last paycheck. It's going to be like $90 because it was like in the beginning of the pay period. I'm like, whatever, I'm quitting. And I did it. And it was tough because I couldn't find a job immediately. I went 45 days unemployed. My mom gave me a little bit of money to live off of, and I didn't want to ask her for more money. So there came a time when I had like $6 and no food in the house. I went to the grocery store with literally $6. I was like, okay, what can I buy to like get me through this next week? I didn't know about flipping at the time. If I would have known, I would have went to the Goodwill bins, spent all $6 there and sold some stuff on Facebook Marketplace that day and made $25 easily, so there's always people that can benefit from those small dollar flips, which is why I enjoy sharing everything, So again, you're not going to make a huge reselling business off those small flips, but it can be special for certain people.
I'll tell you what, I say this, we make 6 figures with small flips.
Yeah.
So for people that want to talk about all these small flips, and we're talking after taxes, after putting gas in the car, all the little excuses that people are going to say. Like, we paid all our taxes in 2019. We filled the car with gas every week. Like, listen, 6 figures, more than any corporate job that we've ever had, with small profits, little stuff that just adds up. And we enjoyed the adventure. Like, here's everything you just said distilled down to what you focus on grows. So yeah, we get people too on our YouTube channel and every once in a while on our Instagram that are like, you only made $10 on that, blah, blah. It costs $8, but you only made 10 and you should be finding stuff that makes 100. And it's like, we do not even engage with those humans. We sit back and literally hundreds of people a day reach out to us through our Instagram. And if you're watching this and you haven't and you have questions, please reach out through our Instagram or through our YouTube channel. We answer all questions. It's all free. There's no gimmick. There's no course. Respect to the people that have courses. We enjoy talking about shoes. Now, don't reach out and ask us about clothes or electronics or we don't enjoy that.
Or eBay.
Or eBay. Like, we don't know that stuff, but we'll recommend other clothes resellers or other electronics. Or obviously you should be following Harry Tornado, but when you're talking about eBay. But what it's distilled down to is what you focus on grows. So we know resellers that have 7 children running around the house. So if you say, I've got 3 kids, I can't do this. We know someone who has twice as many kids as you that's doing it. We know people who in New York City will drag a couch through the subway that they got for free and sell it for $20. Mm-hmm. You're going to tell us that doesn't make sense because you won't do it. That person is $20 richer and now can go to the bins and spend $10 and then spend $10 on food. Just how you look at this is how you're going to get out of it. And and we are people that want to shout from the rooftops, like whether it's $3, $10, $20, $100, whatever you're making per day, it adds up and there's no limit.
Right.
There's literally no limit. We know people in Little Maine that only sell shoes that make millions of dollars every year.
Yeah. I just think it's one of those, like, one of these industries, like when I tell people, older people in my life, what I do, they're like, are you still just selling junk? Like my neighbor the other day, I was in the driveway cleaning shoes and she came over. She's like, I've been praying for you to find another job. I know you're doing eBay, but I know you probably want to get a real job. I'm like, I'm all right. Thank you.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you know, I appreciate it. You know, I was very thankful, but I'm like, you know, people just don't understand. There's so many, you know, okay, boomer, what's the meme? Like, okay, like,
yeah.
you know, a lot of older people are still in the mindset that like the only way to be happy in life is to go to college and get a job making $40,000 a year with benefits. What is benefits? 3% match in your 401k. I did the math. I had somebody say that even though I was making that at the time the same as I was making in my old job, she was like, "Oh, you got to think about your benefits." And I was like, "The only benefit I was getting was a 3% match in my 401k, which equates to about $1,200 a year that my job was giving me. So if I make $1,200 more this year, like $100 extra a month, I can just match my own 401k. You know, I don't know. There's just
we could go on and on. Like we have health insurance, and people are like, "What do you do about it?" Like we're not going to give health insurance advice because you should
just buy it. I get that question all the time. I'm like, you just buy it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, we have more. And again, this is not gloating. We want to be examples of what is possible. 90% of our inventory is used. We tell everyone when we get from high volume thrifts. We've got more money in the bank we've ever had. We've got safe money. We've got money to buy a house. We've got all this stuff. And again, it's not bragging. It's like strategic growth. Yeah. That first month, we made enough to pay our bills for that first month. And then we said, okay. And we were going to the bins because we didn't have a buying budget. We sold the shoes in our closet and then for $25 each. And then we're like, where can we make the most out of this $25? Oh, we heard about this place called the Bins. So we'd go there and spend $20 a week. And then we'd flip those shoes and clean them. And then it gradually turned into $30 a week we could spend. And now, of course, we spend, thousands of dollars every week on shoes. But it's like gradual. And it could be pay your cell phone bill, like you said, or it could be buy a house like we're about to this year. Yeah. Or it could be, again, we know people that are way bigger than us making millions and millions of dollars only selling shoes, only selling Nike shoes, for example.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Real Talk Mentor gave another $2 super chat. Size that sells the most. I know the most common shoe size, I think, for men is a 10. What do you guys think is the most common size that you sell?
So you want to tell?
I mean, you can.
With a small buying budget, meaning less than $100, if you're going to be spending $100 every week, women's size 7 through 9.5, and men's 10.5 through 13. At least for us. Now, if you have a bigger buying budget, every single pair sells, period. We source infant shoes up to men's 20 is the biggest shoe that we've sold. So, wow. But if you have I'll repeat, if you have a smaller buying budget we've sold over 11,000 pairs of shoes in the last 2.5 years, almost 3 years in June. Women's 7 through 9.5 and men's 10.5 through 13.
Awesome. That is a much better answer than I thought you were going to give. That's super helpful.
It's just based on data. That's not a guess. That's not a Google. That's just based on our data that we look at daily, weekly, monthly. Mm-hmm. If it was different, we sell men's 15 shoes. We sell, we just don't sell as much of. Now, here's another thing. We know resellers that only pick up men's 13 and above. Mm-hmm. So, like, again, the no excuses mentality. But it's been our experience, again, selling over 11,000 pairs, that those sizes sell. There's a bigger buying pool for those sizes, and you'll find more of those sizes.
We've sold the most amount of women's 8 this month. That's our highest sold size.
Do you guys have like a spreadsheet that you keep up with that information, or is that directly through Poshmark?
I'm doing it right now.
No, looking at a spreadsheet. So you can download all your information. We use multiple marketplaces. So we have Poshmark, Mercari, StockX, and Goat are like the 4 active month-to-month basis. So we keep our own Google Sheets. It's just the free app, Google Sheets, and we've manipulated the Google Sheets based on the numbers we're looking for. So we know on a daily basis how much we're profiting per pair. That's when people reach out to us and they're like, hey, how do you combat slow times? And our response is we don't have slow times, because on a daily basis, we know how much we have to sell that day to hit our goal. And if there's any, I guess, dip, like if we were supposed to sell 24 pairs and we've only sold 19 and it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we take action that day and we send more offers to likers. We may get ahead on our listing, things of that nature. So on a daily, we're doing micro things to hit our macro goals. So there's no slow seasons. And I think when people do get slow seasons or whatever, it's because of stuff that you haven't done weeks before.
For sure.
So that's what it comes down to, I think.
I like the micro decisions. I read a book recently called Atomic Habits. It was talking about your lagging results. Like your current physical fitness level is a lagging result of your past, how many times you went to the gym in the last couple of months. The amount of money in your bank account is a lagging result of the amount of work you've done over the last couple of months. And I think, building a shoe reselling business where you're profiting $500 a day just on used shoes is a lagging result of a lot of, micro decisions and micro, systems in place that really streamline the process and make it possible for you guys to pull off these kind of numbers with just one employee right now, which I think is very impressive. So again, congratulations. More Income sent a $6 super chat, says, stay humble. You've come a long way from $6 in your bank. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Real Talk Mentor sent another super chat, $2. You guys are awesome. And then the Thrifting Lounge sent a $10 super chat. I have 3 kids, work full-time, do eBay part-time, and made $5,200 last month. Average sale is $67. That is awesome. I don't have any kids. I have a dog, and he is enough to keep me busy all the time.
Yeah. Again, there's a perfect example of someone who, again, we look up to that person because we're in the infancy of building our family. We don't have any kids yet, but we respect that. And we want to learn from people who have children and can manage all those things. It's ironic. Today's Thursday, I go and spend time with my brother who he just had his first child. And so he's got a 6-month-old little Lucy who's an absolute fireball. So I go over 1 day a week and I come home and I'm exhausted and I'm like, holy smokes, like having kids is takes a lot of energy. Yeah. So we're already learning from people who are resellers. We understand that things are going to change, but again, we're thinking ahead so that when we start having children, it doesn't shock the system. To compound what you said about micro decisions, we watched a lot of Jeff Bezos interviews, and he laughs when they have a giant Q4, or he's like, it's something that we did 3.5 years ago is the reason we just had this giant Q4. Like people don't realize that you have to do these micro things every day with a macro goal, and you have to be diligent on it. Especially in the reselling world, you can walk in somewhere, let's keep it with shoes, and find a random pair of Jordans, or you used an example of Mephisto. But to consistently build a business, finding those, you have to expand and build systems. Mm-hmm. And that's what we've done.
Awesome. So we're getting close to an hour here, so we'll cut it off in just a minute. There are 359 people watching, this is the most popular live stream I've ever done. So thank you guys for watching this. I really appreciate it. Again, if you guys could smash the like button on this video, we greatly appreciate it. And the link to RNZY's Instagram page and their YouTube channel is in the description of this video. Be sure to give them a follow on both of those platforms. So I guess my last question is, being a husband and wife team that works together, you're together all the time. You don't have that separation most husbands and wives have, going to their separate places of employment every day. So what are some tips on how to not only build a successful business with your life partner, but also not get sick of each other in the process?
Yeah, you can't fake it. So for example, some people reach out to us and they say, how do I get my significant other to be a reseller? And that's not a good decision.
I was vetted.
Yeah.
I was vetted to be open to sourcing. Our first date, it was our second date. Our second date, he texts me and he goes, hey, there's a link or a posting on Craigslist that there's a bunch of free weights, free weights in a freaking snowbank an hour west of me. Do you want to go pick them up?
I was like, we can sell these and make money. Let's go.
And I was like, sure. And then that was game over. It was like
second day, I started looking at rings. I was like, here we go. This is gonna be good.
I'm kicking the weights out of this ice. Oh,
it was horrible, and the weights sat in the garage, and we never listed them.
Yeah, no.
That's the point. So
we probably paid to throw them out.
Yeah, the point of value here is honesty. We're always honest with ourselves. We have conversations a lot about, I mean, the reality, are we still enjoying shoes? We literally talk about it all the time. And the answer so far is yes. And we're enjoying it. When we tested the other things, it was funny because like we started regretting going and sourcing clothes, but the money made sense. And then we were like, hey, I think I said like, I don't want to go do this. And she was like, I don't want to go do this either. And we were like, oh, we're just continue to be honest. If you are trying to get your significant other to be involved, you have to respect that they may not want to be involved. And that's okay too. You can build a monster business by yourself. Of course, we're not going to sugarcoat. It's fun, but it's only fun because we both enjoy all aspects of the business. You can't force someone. If like I couldn't have forced her to drive an hour to pick up those weights. She was honest and was like, yeah, let's go.
And we learned really early, not only what, like I learned what I'm really good at and what my strengths are with reselling, but I also learned what his are, and then also what our weaknesses are. And then we do everything we can to bring our strengths to the table. And lucky for us, which is why we're such an amazing team, they're kind of opposite. Like I'm really good at the stuff that he's not so good at, and vice versa.
She's being nice. She runs this whole shit. Like she's the intelligence, the brains, let's think through the business model to make sure that it makes sense, and then back up and create these micro goals. And I'm like, hey, that actually makes sense. I'm like, let's go to every single thrift and every single outlet and buy every single pair of shoes. And because I believe that we can sell them everywhere because all these marketplaces. And the reality is you can, but that doesn't make, you're going to get burned out. So we meet in the middle, and she says, okay, let's build a sourcing route that allows us to not get burned out, but also allows us to see as many pairs as we can, and let's be strategic. And so exactly like she's saying, you know, I'm the guy carrying all the IKEA bags and like filling them with shoes that make sense. And she's the one making sure all the numbers make sense with respect to the reality. Like, and I think that is important as well. Now, you may be someone who's by yourself and you don't have that sounding board. So you need to find some people in your life and say, hey, take a look at this. I need another viewpoint, whether that's someone online or someone in your life, or you have to be disciplined enough to look yourself in the mirror. And again, back to how we started this whole live feed, we're very diligent about pouring gas on what's actually working, and we're not romantic to what's not. For us, eBay just wasn't working, so we stopped using it. We didn't grind our gears. If tomorrow Poshmark, just for whatever reason, it's not working for us, we'll talk it out and we'll stop being romantic to that marketplace and we'll try something else.
That's awesome. I have thoroughly enjoyed this chat. You guys have been great guests. I did get a super chat from Froggy Flips, $9.99. I'm strictly hard goods, but this has me thinking. Here's your first cut of my profits. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, like we said, shoes, like there's so many shoes out there. They're plentiful, second only to clothing. Every thrift store I've ever been into has some sort of shoes, probably, that you can make some money on. And like we talked about in the video in this live previously, like everybody needs some shoes. So it may not be your thing, and don't force it. Like I know there's a lot of money I can make on clothing, but I don't like it. So, but again, this has been a great stream. If you guys, viewers, if you guys have enjoyed this stream, be sure to hit the thumbs up button for us. Let's try to get to 200 thumbs ups. We're at 176 right now, so only need 24 more. So I'd appreciate that if we can hit that. Also, I'm going to put a link in the chat right now to my friend Lot of Josh's live video that he will be starting right now at 7 o'clock. So if you guys are looking for something else to watch after this, be sure to go over there and check that out. And then Becky Park's video will be after that. So for the next 2 hours, you guys are going to have something to watch.
Love it.
But again, huge shout out to Ryan and Lindsay for being my guest on this episode of Reseller Review. Again, go give them some love. Follow them on Instagram. There's great content there. What I love about 2020 and the age of social media is there's so much information, and it's all free. Like you can pay for information and courses and stuff, but I don't think there's any course out there that has any exclusive information that's not already being provided by folks like Ryan and Lindsay. So do yourself a favor, go follow them on Instagram, subscribe to their YouTube channel. I'm excited for you guys' YouTube channel in 2020. Are you guys going to start hitting that a little bit harder?
Yeah, absolutely. For the simple fact that there's a lot of people that aren't on Instagram and absorb a lot of information, and we want to, in Gary V-esque model, is we also have a podcast that we've done a few episodes, and we've built some traction, and so we're gonna have a lot more YouTube videos, YouTube content, a lot more podcasts, audio, visual. And again, here's the transparency. There's no such thing as a dumb question when you reach out to us. You're not wasting our time because we enjoy talking about shoes. We enjoy talking about our business. It's super easy to respond to people very quickly. So don't feel like, again, there's no silly question and you're not bothering us. Ask as many questions as you want. And that comes from a place because we want to run into people when we're out on the road, when we're in thrifts, when we're in the outlets, and we want you to feel comfortable to say, hey, I talked to you, or I saw your stuff. Maybe you have some questions while you're in the thrift. Maybe we want to build relationships genuinely with people as the whole thing grows. There's enough inventory, there's enough marketplaces, and there needs to be more friendly and genuine communication among resellers. There's lots of it, but there needs to be a louder voice when it comes to genuine content that will put money in your pocket.
Absolutely. Thank you guys again. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate that. Again, go give them some love on their Instagram and YouTube channels. And Ryan and Lindsay, thank you guys so much again. I really appreciate your time. And we will see you guys on the next one, which I got a video coming out tomorrow. It's going to be a good one. Stay tuned for that. But we'll see you guys later. Appreciate it.